In the absence of a body, which is always a nuisance, she wants Diver and Diver to confirm there's no proof he's alive, and I've told Jason 12 times I'm not getting involved in anything matrimonial. I have enough trouble sorting out my own relationships." Joe took this in the best of spirits and blew him a kiss. He even wondered if there was a reason why she wasn't in a hurry to get into her office this morning. Then she said, "No, you've guessed wrongly this time. The Divers have been approached by the life insurance company involved. Jason said there's a lot of paperwork, but he'd like you to take a look at it." Smith said, "With a view to—" "I don't know. He didn't go into it any further. But I suppose there's some reason they don't want to pay out, other than the obvious one." Back in the kitchen, Smith fed the dog and ground more coffee beans. In the 2 months since he'd succeeded in getting the charges against Charlie Hills's son dropped and then discovered the young man had been guilty, it was true he had not always returned Jason Diver's calls. Almost everyone involved in that case had considered it a triumph for Smith. Only he, Joe, and Detective Chief Inspector Cara Freeman knew the truth. It was a bitter moment for Smith to think that his own skills, such as they were these days, had been used to undermine the investigations of his former colleagues. It had not been an auspicious beginning to a new career as a private investigator, and he would admit to himself that he'd hoped, by not answering Jason Diver very often, the young man might eventually forget about the idea of offering him more cases. Neither was he too keen on the idea of helping an insurance company not to pay out. They'd need a damned good reason not to, and then, of course, he fell to wondering what it might be. How long had the husband been missing? It's almost impossible to disappear completely, increasingly so in the modern digital world. If there has been no sign of a body, it's most likely because someone has hidden it well. But if that's the case, if that's even suspected, the police would have been involved. This is another worrying thought. He doesn't want anything to do with an investigation involving the police after last time. Nice job, Jason, telling Joe just enough to get me thinking about it, though. Maybe the insurance company has— He heard Joe in the kitchen and turned around. She looked at him and said, "I think I'll have that coffee up in the bedroom. Would you mind bringing it up to me?" He said he wouldn't mind at all, and she went up the stairs. He added more coffee to the filter, switched on the kettle again, and made a face of pleasant surprise at his reflection in the kitchen window. Some days begin more auspiciously than others. There's no doubt about that. He might even give Jason a ring later on.